Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. Hello, Chop Squad. I hope you're having an awesome day. Our guest is going to be helping business owners discover wildly successful marketing ideas. So I'm looking forward to this. And his name is Daniel Den. We're going to be in his marketing den, I guess, here. Well, Daniel became fascinated with marketing and sales almost 2 decades ago. Today, he is the co-founder of the X Factor Effect methodology, where he and his team have helped over 20,000 students and clients grow their businesses. Daniel teaches that different is the new better, and his framework includes 9 pillars for differentiating your business so that you can become a market leader or category king. And I'm going to give you a little bit more about Daniel on the other side of this message. July 27th is National Love is Kind Day. Show some love through your business. Nurture it, grow it, and watch it flourish. Register now for Elevating the You in Entrepreneur Summit. Learn more at bit.ly/elevate the letter U July 2024. bit.ly/elevate the letter U July 2024. We're back with Daniel. For several years, Daniel has traveled the world full-time with his wife and 4 children. They continue to travel often and now live in Florida. Just a little sidebar, Daniel. I can remember, growing up being kids and we're all piled up in the car and we're driving to Canada, driving to New York as a family. Those were the good old days. 4 children, okay? Husband and wife, same thing. Same thing. So that was kind of funny. All right.
I grew up in North Carolina, and it was the same thing. We would constantly drive down to Florida.
Oh, wow.
My parents got, they fell for the timeshare.
Uh-huh.
So, but they when in like their early 20s, right? When they should not have bought a timeshare.
Exactly.
They did not have the money for it, but we had to go. So every single summer we would go down to Florida, and it was 12-hour drive, and there were 4 of us as well. So I have 4, you were part of 4, and I was part of 4. There's
something in that.
4 is the number of the day.
Exactly.
We have a number of the day. 4.
Yeah. So maybe our family teams or even our business teams, maybe 4 is a good it's a good square number.
Yes.
All right. So you lived in Florida, and now you are the author of the new book, Ideas That Influence. That was built on to help. There he is. There he is. Oh, wait. I've got one too.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Ideas That Influence. That was built on the premise to help business owners discover their own, and we mentioned this earlier, wildly, I like that, successful marketing ideas. Again, Daniel, welcome to the Business Chop.
Yeah, the Chop Squad. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Thank you, Audrey Wiggins. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
Great. Awesome. I'm so excited to have you here, bringing the energy, especially the first interview of the day. And it's always good to start off exciting, a lot of energy. So before we get to some more exciting stuff on marketing, because of course, that's why we're here to help the Chop Squad. The fun things that you mentioned in your application, you'd like to share some of those?
Yes, except I don't know what I shared in my application.
Okay, so then I'll share them. Okay.
No. If you trigger my memory, then I'll remember.
Okay. You wrestled because?
Oh, right. Yeah. That. So growing up in North Carolina, home of Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah. And, okay.
So I grew up in around Fayetteville, if you've heard of Vietnam, Fort Bragg area.
Yes.
And that's where I was, and I loved basketball. I grew up playing basketball on the streets in the neighborhoods. Back when you were allowed to let the kids just go out and play in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
That was
kickball. Oh man.
I would just go and play every single day after school, just walk around the neighborhood, play basketball on the street all the time. So my basketball was my passion, but I didn't make the team because there's lots of really tall people that made the team, and I'm a medium-sized person.
Okay.
And now white guys like me that can, make 90% of their shots, they would make the team, but I was like, I would make half the shots, which is good. Like I was a good hitting 50% of the shots. Like I would impress a lot of people, but I wasn't, that, medium-sized white guy that would hit 90% of the shots.
Right.
That's what I needed to get to make the team. So as an alternative, I wrestled, and I absolutely loved wrestling. So I joined the wrestling team.
All right. That's awesome. And you also did some other things, CrossFit and jiu-jitsu. That's taking me over to the Matrix. So I like that.
Yeah. CrossFit. I tell you what, man, I know that as marketers, sometimes, we're competitive, right, Audrey?
No.
Well, you don't like that? Well, I'm inherently competitive, and so
Oh yeah.
So things like jujitsu and CrossFit just are right up my alley, and just I love it. I love it, and I still love playing some basketball, and but yeah, had to move on to my lane, if that makes sense.
Yep, exactly. And one other thing, I think this is the statistic about your in-person event, especially coming off of post COVID, when people are kind of inching their way back into facilities, and you had 7,400 people at an event. I think that is phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, that was our biggest event to date, right before COVID hit. That was in 2020. I even have a really cool picture of me.
Wow.
This was down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and 7,400 people. And during that event, I did my first rap performance on stage in a second language, so in Portuguese. I'm up there.
Oh, crazy.
Portuguese. And got a standing ovation for my rap performance in Portuguese, and people just absolutely loved it. And why did they love it? Because we had this, funny looking gringo rapping in their language, and it was different. It was exciting, and yeah, people absolutely loved it.
Okay, so now you're gonna have to give a quick greeting in Portuguese. Portuguese.
Valeu, obrigado, Audrey. Sim, meu nome é Daniel Den e é grande prazer estar aqui com vocês.
Thank you. It's great to be with you and meet you as well.
Whoa! You pretty much got it. Do you understand? Do you understand? I don't know if you understand Spanish or whatever.
A wee bit. And being at the school, has been a great help, because I used to be at the front desk, and so there's in engineering. So we have great international, beautiful melting pot of people from all over the world.
Nice.
And so it's awesome. Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why we moved to Florida as a family. So we lived in Utah for a while, and if we're just being honest, there's not much diversity going on in Utah. So
yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we're here. We love being part of, the quote unquote real diverse.
Yes. the beautiful melting pot that's America.
Yes.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Not unlike Ohio, right?
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. We're definitely diverse here. Yeah, and I enjoy that. Yes, even where I live at, diverse community. Well, let's get started. Let's talk some marketing. Woo-hoo.
Yes, let's go.
So, all right. So I know before we got started, we were talking about a little bit of our past and our history. And then I made a confession, when I was a kid applying for a job, I'd had clerical jobs, two secretarial jobs, and I had an associate degree. It was in communications. And I interviewed for a job, so it was time to progress, right? And you go to you look for jobs that are paying a little bit more and get a little more responsibility. But sometimes we kind of we don't really have a conversation. The conversation is all in our heads, so we just keep going in that same lane, but further down the road, so to speak. And so the guy in the interview, he asked me, he says, well, why didn't you apply for the marketing job? Today, I can't tell you what kind of answer I gave. Well, it's probably like, oh, duh, I don't know. But all I know is that had been a regret or a memory jogger, at least anyway, for all of these years. And that was like, as my mother always used to say, 100 years ago. So it's like over 40 something years. Not ashamed to say that, but yeah,
that is
it
impressive.
was. I was young and young and dumb, as they would say. Yeah.
Well, I was young and dumb as well. So I mean, we all, it takes a while to discover our true passion. So we share, Audrey, we share the passion of marketing and sales. Specifically for me, I love the psychology of marketing and sales. But I did not know that I absolutely was in love with the psychology aspect of marketing and sales until I went to college. And I originally wanted to be a toy maker. That was what I wanted to do. And they told me I needed to take these engineering classes.
Oh, yeah.
They said maybe mechanical engineering. And I was like, oh, that's logical. All right, I'll take these mechanical engineering classes. I get in the classes and it's a bunch of math. No creativity whatsoever was happening. And I was like, this is my creative, needs are not being fed here at all. And so naturally I got disenchanted with the multiple math classes for me to try to get
differential equations.
So many things that I just didn't care about. Now I know that like I needed to know it, but
yeah,
like so that I can create structurally sound toys.
Absolutely. You don't want the toy to fall apart now.
You don't want the toy to fall apart.
Oh my goodness. It's
but yeah. And then eventually I was like, entrepreneurship, business, marketing, sales. This is exciting. This is something I can creatively get behind all day, every day.
Right. Oh my goodness. So tell us a little bit more of your journey, though, how you got started and found your way into what you're doing today.
Yeah. So I really found my way right around 2007, right when you started working with Cleveland State University with marketing communications, which is super cool, by the way.
Thank you.
17 years in October. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a good ride. It was a good ride. Yep. Yeah.
That's got to be super fulfilling. So right around the same time, I discovered the internet. Well, the power.
Oh yeah. Exactly. 2007. Absolutely. Because that's when I had launched or relaunched the business for Altogether.biz and really gotten into that. So you're right. Go ahead. That's still in your thunder. Go ahead.
No, we could just concurrently share both stories because both are because the whole point is we both like really got going with marketing and sales and communications and all that like around 2007. Now for me, my wife and I, we were newly married and we started making a bunch of money with an eBay store, which is super exciting. Yes. This is amazing. Now, this was before everybody and their dog started doing eBay, and then everybody started doing Amazon. So we were one of the first ones to really take off on eBay, and then we were one of the first ones to really take off on Amazon. Now, if you try to break into eBay and Amazon as a vehicle, it's a lot harder. So luckily we were able to make a lot of business mistakes while profiting with that eBay store. And I eventually got really heavy into the digital marketing side and started learning Google AdWords and learned how to even market an ebook. And I wrote an ebook, started marketing it. It was making sales. And that was the beginning of my journey. That's everything today for what we teach, because long story short, eventually more and more people started jumping on to the internet as an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
And when people start to do so, you find a percentage of the competition who I like to call copycat competitors. And I hit a home run with one of my websites right around 2009, where on multiple days I was making like $1,000 profit a day. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Like 2009, where $1,000 in a day is just like, that's pretty much like $1 billion, right?
Right.
and so this was exciting. And what happened was, for 6 months, I was just like I was starting to plan my retirement. So Audrey's planning her retirement from Cleveland State now. And in 2009, I was, because of this 6-month run, I was like, I'm going to retire by the time I'm 30.
Travel the world.
I'm like, this is it. I've made it. Now, that was obviously very ignorant, because eventually somebody completely ripped off my website. I mean, they copied word for word my copy, and they just a complete copycat of my website. And they started competing with me. And then when there's one that does it, that means two are going to do it, three, and then eventually, by like a year later, there was about 50 people who had completely ripped off my website because they saw this opportunity to simply copy and start making money. And that was one of the reasons why. So the co-author of Ideas and Influence is Pedro Superti. And he and we started working together about 12 years ago. And our goal was to help business owners through marketing and sales discover ways where they could start to become uncopyable.
Oh, wow.
The way they approach business and marketing and sales. And so that's why we have our methodology called the X Factor Effect, because it's all about these different ways to break through the noise. But we help you stack those differences in a way so that, somebody can copy like one unique selling proposition that you have, or like a headline, or like a part of your marketing message, like some copy or whatever, but they can't copy all of it when you follow what we teach with the X Factor Effect methodology. And that movement that we created is what helped over 20,000 students and clients to break through the noise in their industries, the X Factor Effect methodology.
Wow. Give us unpack that with maybe a little anecdote or case study.
Yeah. So
as far as being uncopyable.
Yeah. So one of my favorite examples. So is this a G-rated podcast, a PG-13? If you had to put it on a scale, Audrey, because I have a couple of different stories.
Well, it says it's PG, but you know what? There's in the editing, there's always the so carry on.
Okay. All right. So one of my favorite examples, I share it in Ideas That Influence. Okay. And so her name is Juliana. Okay.
This is a fake name though, right? This is a fake name.
No. This is a real name, because she gave me permission to share her story.
Oh, cool.
So she is a doctor down in Brazil, and she started a speech in front of 4,500 women by saying the following. Okay. She said this. And if like, these are medical terms, so, I don't think we need to block any of them out. So, she said this, and I quote, "I don't know of any woman who, after having an orgasm, had the desire to commit suicide.
Oh, goodness.
That's how she started her speech. The audience was stunned into silence. Like many of you may be listening right now. You might, what? What are we talking about? And they were immediately captivated. They were on the edge of their seats, waiting to see what this doctor is saying next. And what she went into was the medical science behind proof from experts that 65% of the women who are depressed have very low or virtually non-existent sex drives. And those same women, because of those the very low or virtually non-existent sex drives, those are the same women who have low testosterone levels. And the same research, and she just laid it all out, showed that when the testosterone levels are increased, that it's common for the symptoms of depression to disappear. In other words, if you increase the testosterone levels in women, depression can disappear. And through returning back to sexual activity, it is a natural way to increase testosterone levels and get off of antidepressants. As part of the same research, and this is just mind-blowing stuff. As part of the same research, she lays out the fact that the antidepressants lower testosterone levels. It's one of the side effects of the antidepressants.
Wow.
They just naturally lower the testosterone levels. So there's this link, and there's this belief that she sells, and it caught on like wildfire, that if, as a doctor, if I can help my clients, instead of giving them pills, instead of giving them more antidepressants, if I can help them return to sexual activity, it is a way to naturally combat depression. And down in Brazil, this message that she shares took off like wildfire.
Wow.
She's got a book about it. She gets asked to speak on stage about it all the time. And it's a very sticky message. It's a very memorable message. It's a very impactful message because, as we've all heard, a lot of these antidepressants do not do us any favors.
That's right.
And the reason why I love this message, this marketing example so much from one of our students, is that it covers all 7 of the elements that we teach inside of Ideas That Influence for highly effective and wildly successful marketing. I'll quickly lay out those 7 elements. First of all, her message is focused. No doubt about that. She's talking about one big idea. She makes the message all about the audience. It's all about them. It's all about helping them overcome, in this case, depression. It has an X factor, meaning it has something different about it. Obviously, the common doctor does not start off a speech that way and stuff.
Right.
The common doctor is handing out the pills, unfortunately.
That's right.
4, it evokes emotion. There's no way, if after hearing what she has to share, that you don't have some type of emotional reaction to her message. So it evokes emotion, which I believe a few episodes back, you had somebody on that was talking about the importance of emotion inside of your marketing message.
Yeah.
Once again, it evokes emotion. It shares a story. She's got stories, tons of stories of women who she's helped get off of the antidepressants and stop having depression because of returning to the sexual activity. It's sticky and shareable. There's no way, if you understood what I just shared and what Juliana's story just is a very sticky and shareable concept, like you're going to have trouble forgetting it.
Right.
And then the seventh element is that it provides an aha moment. What's the aha moment? Oh, wait a second. There is an effect that's going on with these antidepressants where it's not as effective as it could be because it's lowering the testosterone levels, but there's a link to higher testosterone levels, which combats the depression, which means what can we do to stop taking the antidepressant pills, and how can we naturally take care of it? So there's the aha moment inside of the message. So it hits all 7 of the elements for what makes for a wildly successful marketing message that breaks through the noise. And like I said, we're talking about speeches, we're talking about books, we're talking about client referrals. She is busy, 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 and happy, happy, happy because she has an impact in the world through her wildly successful marketing.
Yeah, and I like the part that she's helping others, helping herself, but she's helping others to have their a good lifestyle as well.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know if that's the story you were expecting, Audrey, but that's the one that
it wasn't. But when you put the 7 pillars in there, it worked. No, so seriously, and if we can just duplicate that and picking up instead of just grabbing an idea or another product and just running off with it, because the saying there's nothing new under the sun, but you can make it new, a new angle, color it different or whatever. I'm being real simplistic, but to be able to not have our websites or ideas just because you're right, people will scour websites or whatever and like, okay, I'm going to take this content, this sounds good, and I'm going to put it on my website or take a product and service and try to resell it. But bringing all those unique factors into the picture makes a huge difference. And, so we don't cut ourselves short in the long run.
Knock out your competition with Altogether Marketing. We elevate your brand. Take a stance with your business name, logo, the tagline, your colors, even the fonts for your business. And then jab left with your website, jab right with core values. Back up with product experience and bring it on with you. Visit altogether.biz and let us help you create a knockout brand.
I've got a perfect analogy because Audrey, marketing communication, it's all about the stories, it's all about the analogies, it's all about the examples. That's what makes for content that's actionable, right? So hopefully everybody, the business chop squad, hopefully you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. Check out this analogy, okay? Let's conceptualize this even better. If both Audrey and I are given sugar and flour and eggs and frosting and vanilla flavoring, and so what are we making? Okay, you probably figured it out. We're making a cake. All right, we're making a cake. We're given the same ingredients. Conceptually, there's nothing new under the sun. The eggs have been around, the sugar's been around, the flour's been around, the vanilla extract has been around, the frosting's been around.
Right?
It's all there. We all have these ingredients that have existed. A lot of them have existed since we were born. Okay, but what we make of those ingredients can be very unique. And that's where, when we're stacking the differences that make a difference, that's where we can come up with unique marketing messages that break through the noise. So the cake I build, without a doubt, is going to be way different than the cake Audrey makes, because Audrey's is going to be way better. Let's just be honest.
She's patronizing me, all right?
No, Audrey's is going to be way better than mine. Because Daniel doesn't really make cakes. But when it comes to the marketing message, and these are the elements. We encourage people to include as many of these elements as possible in their marketing message so that it's as impactful as possible. And we have not seen a message that hits all 7 of these elements not be wildly successful. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. At some point, we might find something that hits all 7 of these elements and just for some reason fell flat on its face. But to date, we have not seen it.
Okay.
So you're pretty much guaranteed to have a wildly successful marketing message if you can have all of these 7 elements inside of the marketing cake, to go back to the analogy, that you build.
Yeah, that's awesome. If someone wanted to work with you, what does that look like? Or I would love for people just to get this box.
That's my preferred way in
Mm-hmm.
2024 to work
Yeah.
with you, to start the relationship. It's actually free. So the entire book and box experience. Thanks for showing that off, Audrey. Yeah, we put in the rainmaker.
I need something in here.
There we go. There we go. I got today I got my rainmaker mug.
Okay. And your shirt.
And my world's best boss. So
all right. All right.
From
yes.
the office. So it's free, actually. So the mug, the book, the box experience is free. I just ask that you pay shipping and handling.
Yeah.
If you go to bigideasbox.com, then you get the book, you get the box experience. The box experience comes with 5 experience envelopes that you open at certain points while reading the book. And you open those, and it's like opening a present every single time. You get new presents and tools that help you come up with your next wildly successful marketing idea. You'll learn about all of the 7 elements and details with lots of really cool stories and examples and analogies, so that you understand in depth every single one of the elements and how you can easily come up with your own ideas, or find your own ideas, or brainstorm your own ideas with your team that include as many of these elements as possible.
Because you mentioned working with our team, so actually we can sit around and go through these different elements or the packages within your ideas and influence box, and come up with an idea. I like that.
Yep, 100%. We talk about right in the beginning of the book. There's a problem, okay. And marketing communications guru, Audrey Wiggins, you understand this. In 2024, there are a lot of charismatic characters that they dominate the conversation, and they don't leave much room for other voices to be heard. And this is a problem. This is a big problem in 2024. I actually tackled it right in the beginning of the book. The best leaders, they adopt introverted qualities, meaning they don't have to wave a magic wand and turn themselves into introverts. What it means is that the best leaders give time to sit and listen and let all voices be heard, because very introverted CEOs, they are naturally good at hearing what other people have to say because they don't like to dominate the conversation. As a result, more of the best ideas are shared. And more often than not, that super extroverted person that's dominating the conversation, that's making sure that their 10 ideas are heard, sometimes they have the best idea, but more often than not, they don't have the best idea. More often than not, I don't have the best idea. Audrey, you work with some interns. If you utilize them the right way, they should be the ones more often than you coming up with the winning idea.
Yes. And I definitely encourage that. Yes. Yeah. So how can we get the box and get in touch with you?
Yeah. So if you go to bigideasbox.com, just put in your shipping address and you pay shipping and handling. I'm going to ship out the whole thing to you for free. And that's my preferred way. I love to kick off the relationship with you. But if you just head on over to bigideasbox.com and grab your box.
Awesome. Chop Squad, get that box. I've got mine. Daniel graciously sent this to me, and we'll go through this together and come up with our big ideas. 2024 is not over yet, so we still have time to make some stuff happen huge for ourselves and those around us. Thanks again, Daniel. Any closing nuggets you want to leave?
Yeah, our favorite thing, because we're all about the X factor and being different. Remember that different is the new better. What does that mean? new better. Well, it used to be that quality was what people were looking for. I mean, we're talking about like, 50 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
manufacturing especially. Yeah.
yeah, like
Mhm.
quality mattered. So in 2024, quality is expected. Quality is no longer a differentiator. And when people say things are better, they usually start listing off all the ways that it's different. And so what we notice is that in 2024, what's different is what people are saying is better. So different is the new better. People are using it kind of like a synonym. So remember to do things differently. Do things differently in a way your dream customers love, because different is the new better.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Audrey. You're amazing.
No, you're amazing. That's silly. But this has been awesome. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to The Business Chops. We hope that you were able to glean valuable information from our guests and that you will download and share this podcast. Your rating and review is much appreciated. To go deeper with our guests, please visit their website and social channels. To learn more about us, please visit businesschop.info or altogether.biz, where we will help you expand your brand.